that picture.
Do that again, I missed it.
You missed that?
Questions? Are you on the right air?
Coach, you said during the week that you told your team that everyone had to rise up and play better and not worry about who's at quarterback and that you can win without Justin. Do you think your guys did everything tonight you expect them to be able to do?
Absolutely. I think it all started with us watching the game film of the UCLA game on Sunday. We watched it as an entire team, and after telling our guys that we can win without Justin, we went and watched it and showed our guys how we can win, but we had to play better. You know, it was a way that we needed to play in order to win, and I think that really helped our guys. It cleared some things up, but more importantly, it showed that everybody was making mistakes. It was even guys that you thought was playing really well, they were making mistakes as well, and I really thought that helped our entire football team, and then we challenged each other, the coaches and players, to make sure we do our jobs and try to get better at what we do. Don't worry about anyone else, but just try to get better individually. And I think everybody got better in this game.
Yeah, you're right.
Willie, the defense has been harping on needing to get a takeaway. What was your view of Ugo's play and just your thoughts on that?
That was for me as a coach. That was big time because we harp on that so much in practice, and we have coaches running after our guys all the time in practice, telling them to strip the ball, strip the ball, strip the ball. You know, and it was gratifying for me because we've been preaching that for a while and we hadn't done it. And so we finally did it in the game, and not only for the players to see it, but the coaches too, because I'm always on the coaches about running over there, and you got to keep emphasizing it, you know, and then it paid off for us. But that was a huge play for us. That was a big momentum change in the football game for us, and that was big.
Right, Andrew?
Between Tony and Taj, you guys attacked the edges so well tonight. Was that something you saw about Utah that you thought you could rush to the edges and kind of expose them?
It was, and we felt like we can use our speed to help us in this game. And going into the game, we said we needed to get the ball in our playmakers' hand. You know, that's one way of helping Braxton out, is making sure the guys that touch the ball are guys that can make plays with the ball. And all of those guys did a great job with it today, and that was great to see.
Right, left, Steve.
Got it in Charles' hands too, and he looked like he fell down about 3 times and then threw it into double coverage. Was that? Take us through kind of what you were seeing as that was developing.
I was saying run it, you know, because he came around and the guy almost tackled him. He stayed up, and I was screaming, run, run, run. And Charles been saying all week, he went to the radio show with me this week, and he said the one thing he hadn't done and he wanted to do was throw a touchdown pass. And we put one in for him this week, and we called the play, and then we had a false start. And we wasn't going to call it, and I said, you know what, let's run it anyways. And he did a great job with his balance of staying up on that play. And it was great because Breland always in my ear, Coach, just throw me a fade ball. I did it all the time in high school. I can do that. And Charles threw that ball up, and he did a great job, Moss and whoever that was, and catching it at the highest point and coming down with it. And it was just great because our guys, some of those things they were doing, our guys kind of spoke it into existence. You know, they're talking about it all week long. And it was great to see them do that and have fun with each other.
That was the play you put in this week?
Yes.
Right, Jason?
Yeah, Coach, I'm probably asking a question I already know the answer to, but I assume Justin was not cleared medically to play in this game. And then the second part, Braxton seemed to play a lot better.
Braxton, that's what happened when you get reps. You tend to get better. And I thought Braxton did a good job. It was great for him to be at home and get his first victory as a starting quarterback. But he was in more control. He had a good week of practice. He was more in control of what we were doing. I thought game plan-wise, our coaches did a good job of making sure he understood exactly what it was we needed for him to do in that game. Justin, he threw the ball. I think if we needed to play Justin, he could have played.
So his medical cleared.
He's throwing the football. He's practicing. You know, he's practicing. And it was great to see. I tell you what was also good for us was for him to be out practicing. I think that gave our team a lot of morale throughout the week. Just seeing him out there throwing around and being a part of teammates, and I know that made Justin feel a lot better. Just being out there and suiting up and being around his teammates too, and feeling like he's a part of it. So I thought it was big in a lot of ways. And I tell you, I said earlier, we heal differently, and he's healing differently than most, and he's healing fast, and he's drinking his milk. You guys hear me say that all the time, but I'm serious. He drank milk like he's drinking water. Not that candy ass milk. He's drinking that vitamin D whole milk, and that's great. And it's paying off. He's healing fast.
So just Will, so coach, he was not medical equipment.
Not one doctor told me he couldn't play.
Back right, Hayden.
Coach, how do you feel like your players did handling facing Darren Carrington for the first time? Obviously, Ugo didn't have any trouble with him, but just how do you think your guys handled going up against a former teammate and friend?
I thought they did a good job, and all week long we said we wasn't going to make this thing about Darren Carrington coming back here. We had to play total defense and play their entire offense, and I thought our guys did a great job of containing their offense, and Darren got his catches. And which he does in every game they play, but our guys overall did a great job of keeping their offense first. Under 30 points, and that was a challenge for our guys. We've been playing good defense, but we've been giving up points, and we said we wanted to be better and not keep him out of the end zone. And I thought our guys stepped up a lot when they moved the ball down the field and held them to a couple field goals, and then they missed a field goal too. So. Like I said, we challenged our guys and they responded, to the things that we challenged them on, and that was really, really great to see out of our guys.
On the right, Jonathan.
Willie, it seemed like from the start today, the team had a little bit more swagger than in weeks past, and I know it's not as easy when you're losing ball games, but what was it about today? Was it just, carrying over from practice and then it carried over to the game?
Well, actually, it is easy when you're losing to have some energy. You just got to go have it. You can't feel sorry for yourself. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for us. We see that, and what we did again just went back to the basics. I told our guys when we play well, when we have a lot of energy and passion, we play well. It's just you see it throughout the year, and when we're feeling sorry for ourselves, we don't play well. We show them the field, we show them the live game copy, just what the sideline looked like when it wasn't going well, and our guys responded to it. I know they understand when we're energetic and having fun, and good things happen to this football team. But that's who we got to be, no matter if we're at home or on the road. And again, we can't worry about losing. We got to go in every game expect to win. And I didn't think during the losing streak we went into every game expecting to win. But it was great. Like I said, our guys stopped feeling sorry for themselves and decided to go out and play football like they're capable of.
You've had weird things happen this season. You get a lineman catching a touchdown pass, injuries all over the place. What do you make of all that, and how gratifying is it to see your guys do all the little things right today?
That's football, and I told our guy those things happen all the time. That's every week you got to come ready to play, but more importantly, every week you got to be ready to handle the adversity, no matter how it comes. You handle it. You got to handle it in a positive way. Handling it negatively is not going to help. And I thought again we went back to the basis in practice from a fundamental and technique standpoint. If you ask me why did we get better and why did we play better, it was that more than anything. We were more fundamentally and technically sound in the ball game. That's to me is. On top of our attitude was a reason why we were losing, and I thought our coaches did a great job of just getting back to the bases and not necessarily worry about scheme, but teaching how to run those schemes the right way and doing it with passion. And so I felt like our guys, again, they took the message that we were sending them this week and took off and ran with it. And again, it showed them what they're capable of doing. When they go out on the football field.
On the right, Scott.
Was one of the messages this week we need to score in the second half, and how did it feel to actually put up some points in the second half?
It was great. I showed our guys, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I put up and I showed them how in the Pac-12 games how we haven't done anything in the second half, and rather than talk about it, put it up and let them see it themselves. And told them that's one area where we can get better as a football team. And we talked about it at halftime as a reminder, and again, they respond. That was great, and it's a good group of young men that really want to do well. And it was great to see them just put everything aside and just go out and just do what they're capable of doing. And whenever they play that way, they can score on anyone, and they can win any ball game we play. But they got to believe. And it can't be me believing, it's got to be them, and they got to play for each other. I always tell them the way they play has got to be like a gift to their teammates, and I think that's what we saw out there today. They were playing for their teammates, and when they do that, they play well.
Back left.
After the game, you went out and hugged Darren Carrington. What was said between the two of you during that interaction?
I told him I was proud of him and keep working hard and keep his nose clean and learn and keep growing, and that's probably that was more than anything, tell him to keep growing and learn from his mistakes and keep working hard.